I've had several brands and styles of action cameras over the past few years. So it was time to see what the small, inexpensive action cam products were like now. I'm pretty impressed. The Campark brand has several models of action cams on the market. I chose the one labeled the ACT-74 model. It has a slightly different set of video resolution choices than other models in this series. I wanted a camera that would do some slow motion videos, and this model had a 720 by 120 frames per second choice. 720 is still full HD, and 120 frames per second allows for significant slowdown when played. Let's take a look at what comes in the package. So the action cam comes with quite a lot of accessories, and so the kit comes in this nylon and foam case. It's got cutouts for various pieces, parts. It's all very nice, and it is jam-packed with stuff. Probably some training to get all the stuff in there because I haven't been able to get it all back in since I unpacked it. But basically, here's what comes in the kit. The instructions come a waterproof case, an extra back door to that waterproof case, a couple of Velcro type straps. These can be used either as a wrist strap with a piece like this, or to strap through the holes on a bicycle helmet, mounting this on the bicycle helmet. It comes with some adhesive if you want to do that, and a couple of cable ties. An extra battery was included in this particular set. USB cable, bicycle mount, and then a couple of connectors. So this little snap case, you can mount the camera in that. You can use tripod mounts, the 1/4 by 20 screws on the top, or the little converter piece with the plugs or with the screw part, and mount that in there. And then you can mount it to one of these typical GoPro style 3-hinge plate pedestals. It comes with a couple of snap pedestals. This one's got an embedded J-hook on it, so it would snap into a piece like this. This one is just flat, fit into a piece like that. And then a couple of rotators where you could mount the camera into the piece like this, so it gives you rotation this way, and then mount the camera here, which would give you rotation this way. Now there are two of these in the kit, one of them with a little bit bigger throw than the other, so you can see how their one's a little smaller. And so all in all, it's a pretty comprehensive set of accessories, especially for a camera in the $70 range. And then the camera itself is, of course, in the kit. And so let's clear off the accessories and take a look at the camera all by itself. As you can see, it's got a on-off switch here. Hold it in for a couple of seconds, turns it on, and it's the mode switch. On top of the camera is a select switch. It's labeled as OK. There are up and down buttons on the side which allow you to select the various items in the menu before confirming the selection with the OK button. And then on this side you've got the out ports. You've got a micro USB, a mini HDMI, and the little white slit you see right there is the butt of the micro SD card, which is in the slot that's right there. And then the battery is in this underneath this cover here at the bottom of the camera. And then of course the lens in the top left. So let's take a look at the LCD screen on the back, and there you can see that in the upper corner it gives you an indication of what the mode is. So in this case it's in video mode, 1080p by 30 frames per second. And then pressing the mode switch on the front over on this side moves it to camera. I've got it set to 8 megapixels. It'll go up to 16 megapixels. It has the battery indicator there in the top as well. Date and time across the bottom. I don't have that printing on my videos or on my photos, but there's a choice in the menus that allow you to do that. This is just to show you that you know what the file is going to be labeled. Here is the slow motion selection. It's by a little icon of a person running up there. In this case, I have it set to 1080p by 60 frames per second. It has the 720 by 120 frames per second, which allows a fair amount of slowdown at that HD level. Again, the microphone is on, indicating down here in the corner that it'll record sound as well. This is just basically a file browser that allows you to cycle through the photos and the videos that you have taken. And this is the settings menu here. So let's take a look at that just real quick. There are a couple of icons across the top. This is the video settings, so it's got video resolutions where you can pick from all the choices available in your camera, whether you want to record sound or not, time-lapse, loop recording if you were going to use it as, for example, a dash cam, and then it allows you to select your slow motion frames per second that you want to use. Pressing the mode button again brings you to the camera. It gives you the choices of the megapixels that you're going to make use of for the camera, whether you want to use time shots, auto shots, or drama shots. Drama shots will shoot so many frames in a second that you can use in post-editing to put it to form either the best shot, or if you can do some overlays, it gives you some of those movement shots where you've got the same person in the shot 3 or 4 times as they work through that time period, that second or 2 seconds. Auto is will allow you to set the number of times it shoots, so you can have it shoot, say, every minute, every 2 minutes, every 5 minutes, and so it's kind of the camera's version of time-lapse on a longer scale. And then timed is just a timer so you can get in the frame. The overall settings menu does a couple of things I wanted to show you here. In the exposure, it can go up and down. So I've got it set to 0 or standard exposure. If you've got it dark, you can go to positive exposure to give more light, or you can move up to negative exposure. So it gives you a range of 7 exposure choices, which is pretty handy for a little device of this size and price range. Same with white balance. It allows you to tell it whether it's a sunny day, cloudy day, inside with incandescent lights and so forth, or just to do it auto. You can turn the Wi-Fi on from this menu, or you can turn the Wi-Fi on by just holding the up button on for a couple of seconds, and then there'll be a Wi-Fi indicator here on the screen that you'll know that you're using Wi-Fi. The settings menu will give you a chance to set the date and time, format your SD card, and those kind of housekeeping things. And then just exit the menu settings here with the X. One of the cool things about these little action cameras, especially when they're Wi-Fi enabled, and it's certainly true of the Campark 4K, is that they come with these smartphone apps, either in the the iPhone store or the app Google Play, the App Store, that kind of thing, wherever you get your apps. And it allows you to control the camera from your phone, which makes it pretty easy to do fun things like put the phone on a selfie stick and extend it above the crowd, and then you can watch to see what the camera is seeing here in the app, as you see at the top of this recording, and then move the selfie stick to get the shot you want. You can also go into the settings mode, and you can work your way through the same settings that are in the camera, clicking all the little up and down buttons and so forth. Here in the shoot menu, what we're able to do is see we can shoot in video, camera, or slow motion. In the video mode, where we're selected now, the first little dot of those 3, we can set it for normal, loop, or time lapse. And to start the video, it's just a matter of pushing the button, and you can see then that it starts. You can see the numbers start to creep up there as it's recording, the little red dots in the screen. And then when you're ready to finish recording, just press the button again, and the recording will stop. Change to the camera mode. You can change the normal, timing, trail, auto, all of those kind of action shot kind of options that are in the camera are also available here in the app. And then to take the picture, you just simply click the shutter button there of the camera, and you'll see a little picture of what you shot display in the bottom there for just a second. And then you can go into the slow motion mode, and in doing that, in the slow motion mode, you can do the recording again by just pressing on the button. So to turn off that slow motion, again, we just touch the button again, and it goes off. And then last, using the Media Gallery button, the center button at the bottom of the app, you're able to download from the camera the videos and the photos that you've taken. This allows for easy sharing to social media, your Facebook or YouTube page, without a lot of post-processing and taking the camera home and connecting it to the computer. So these smartphone apps for these Wi-Fi enabled action cameras really are an effective tool to help you get the most from your little action camera. And the last thing I want to point out to you is, after going through a number of action cameras over the years, their instructions are oftentimes a little thin. And so I took some of my experiences not only with this Campark camera, but also with the other cameras that I've used, and put together a little book for those of you who are new to action cameras. It's available on Amazon.com. It's called Getting the Most from Your Action Camera, or the Action Camera Handbook, and it describes all kinds of action cameras, how they work, how to use them, how to use the accessories. It has a chapter on gimbals and flying drones, as well as the basics of how to set your camera up so that you get the most from your camera. So if you're new to the action camera arena, or especially if you're new to cameras in general, you might be interested in just a couple of extra bucks to get you off on the right foot using your action camera. Overall, I've been pretty pleased with the video captured by the camera. I used it on a tripod to shoot a sunset in the time-lapse mode, and it turned out pretty nice. I used it with a powered gimbal to give some steady shots where I fly my RC airplanes, and I've also had it in the pool, underwater, where the shots proved to be pretty cool. Earlier, I mentioned the resolution choices for this camera. It also has some Ultra HD or 2K and 4K settings. I think you'll find that there will be some frame drops and jerkiness at those high settings. First, you need to consider the capacity of the video processor that translates the photons hitting the camera's sensor into full color video. Second, you'll want to make sure that you have a Class 10 ultra high def SD card with a high megapixel bit transfer rate, so you don't lose data when the images are written to the card. Honestly, considering I spent less than $70 for this little camera, I'm quite pleased. The menus provide some adjustability for white balance and exposure, and the various mode choices, such as time-lapse and the auto mode in the camera setting, make this a versatile device. Let's finish this up with some videos taken using the camera.